Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs of Valor, Ridge. The governor of New Mexico should immediately be arrested, tried for conspiracy to violate civil rights, and thrown in prison for the rest of her life. Let's go ahead and get started. If you're unfamiliar with the story, this broke not that long ago. My buddy Jared from Guns and Gadgets, if you want to watch a great channel about Second Amendment legislation and issues as a whole regarding our freedom, he's a good channel to pay attention to. But I talked to him last night on the phone, and we're both just absolutely infuriated by this, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Long story short, she declared a public health emergency because of 2 children getting shot by errant rounds committed by gang violence. These people missed their target and killed a couple of children. So because 2 or 3 children were killed by gang people, all of a sudden Albuquerque, New Mexico has a public health emergency. In short, she suspended the Second Amendment for 30 days. This would include open carry of firearms, concealed carry of firearms within the county that Albuquerque is in. So not only are firearms banned from being carried in Albuquerque, but also in the county that surrounds the city as well. Well, first and foremost, I cannot tell you just how outrageous that this is. It's so bad that even people that are normally on the pretty unfriendly side of the Second Amendment are chiming in. People like Ted Lieu, who I'm shocked said this. He said that you can't just do that. The Constitution applies not only in times of emergencies, but also non-emergency times. He said that this is not this is not right. Even somebody as crazy as David Hogg, from Parkland, said that this is absurd as well. So I understand their strategy for it. I know why they're doing it. But for right now, we do have that common ground of that a governor can't just wave a magic wand and just sever the Second Amendment from being exercised indefinitely. So she said that she's going to suspend the Second Amendment in Albuquerque, in that county, for 30 days, and that she'll revisit it after 30 days. Well, first of all, an order is not law. Absolutely not in any capacity. The other problem here is that the Constitution was explicitly written for times just like this. It was written for times of emergency so that people's rights don't get trampled. I don't know about you, but when the Founding Fathers were at the Constitutional Convention and later the Bill of Rights was ratified, I don't remember there being a public health emergency clause. I don't remember there being, we're going to have the best country in the world where your rights are enshrined, where your natural God-given rights are codified, but only if there's not an emergency. It's ridiculous. And, we see that. So we not only have a Fourth Amendment violation, we have a First Amendment violation where it's just wiped out due to a public health emergency. And now the Second Amendment in Albuquerque and the surrounding county, all of a sudden that applies. So here's where the problem happens. There are many more violent places in the country besides Albuquerque, New Mexico. There are places like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta, and ad nauseum big cities or any other bastion of gun control. And we see all these problems happen. So my question to the governor of New Mexico is, what is your threshold for a public health emergency? How many people have to die for there to be a public health emergency? Is it 2? Is it 3? Obviously, in this case, it is. What about 1? How about murders? How about that? How about people actually, gangs going out and killing each other for turf? Well, when is the threshold for you acceptable? And then, of course, what's stopping someone like Gavin Newsom? Oh, wait a minute. They want to have the abolishment of the Second Amendment there, didn't they? They did their little state thing. So yes, they are trying to. The next time somebody tells you no one's coming for your guns, laugh in their face and bring up stuff just like this. We've known the end game of these people for a very long time. We've known exactly what they seek to do. And what they seek to do is remove any vestige of the Republic of our Founding Fathers and your guaranteed rights, your God-given rights enshrined in the Constitution. They're out to abolish them. They're out to get rid of them because they don't think that that's a convenient thing. There's this obsession with security, and it makes me absolutely sick that Americans would be obsessed with their safety, to feel good, to pull the blankie over their head so that the boogeyman in the closet doesn't get them. The whole point of America isn't for you to feel safe. The whole point of the only thing that we're trying to secure in the United States is our God-given rights. And that's the only reason government exists, is to secure those rights per the Declaration of Independence. And if you're a person out there that thinks that it's okay that a governor can wave a magic wand and suspend your rights just because of a public health emergency, I've got news for you. You got a screw loose, man. You got an absolute screw loose if you think that that's okay to do that. You know, most of the time, folks, I'll debate people and be polite about it for the most part. But, you know, my patience is absolutely wearing thin on this because I know the game that they're trying to play, and they're trying to lull you into this false sense of security that, oh, no, we're just going to have a reasonable discussion. There is no reasonable discussion about infringing on rights. That's not a reasonable discussion. The discussion should be, how do we remove government power? How do we diminish government to the smallest point that it can be? How do we maximize our individual liberty? That should be the discussion, not, oh, we need to feel safe all the time. And in case you're unfamiliar with the text of the Second Amendment, it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Not one that is just, oh, I'm scared all the time, and we got to wave a magic wand of public health emergency. All she's doing is mirroring Biden when he says no right is absolute. He said that himself as the President of the United States. That is an impeachable offense by itself. All she's doing is mirroring what the poser-in-chief has said when she said no right is absolute, even my oath of office. Well, lady, you've just incriminated yourself, okay? You've just set the tone that you need to be removed from office immediately. These impeachment proceedings need to happen immediately in the New Mexico state legislature. She needs to not only be impeached and tried and convicted and then removed from office, but then she needs to be charged, not only under New Mexico law, but she needs to be charged under federal law for conspiracy to violate civil rights. This is a clear-cut case. She admitted it. She absolutely stood in front of a camera with law enforcement sitting on right there next to her, and them not even uttering one word in opposition. And I know people out here watching this video say, well, the sheriff said he won't enforce it. The chief of police of Albuquerque said he wouldn't enforce it. Is that what they said? Were those their words, or did you actually read their press conference? Did you actually read their statements? They just said, we have reservations about this. And of course, it's insinuated that the New Mexico State Police will also enforce this. Well, in case you don't know, New Mexico is a state where you don't need a permit to carry a firearm in that state. It's permitless carry outside or unconcealed. That people can carry a firearm without begging government's permission to do this. So we have a right as codified in the Second Amendment, but not only that, but recognized under New Mexico law that people do this. And all of a sudden she says that doesn't apply anymore. Well, I'm telling you this right now, guys. I've never seen a governor do anything like this before. And make no mistake about it, I think that this is kind of just, testing the waters for future stuff, whatever the next public health emergency is. Don't fall for it. And if I lived in New Mexico, I can tell you what I would do. I would have my firearm, and I'd go right outside. I'd walk around Albuquerque all in broad daylight with a firearm, and I'd get tens of thousands of people. There's over 500,000 people that live in Albuquerque. And you're going to sit there and tell me that you can't go out there and exercise your Second Amendment right openly without breaking any laws whatsoever? Doing exactly what is authorized not only in the New Mexico state law, but also in the Second Amendment to the United States? That you're embracing your heritage and your culture as an American citizen? That you're a person that has that right to do so? And that you're, first of all, violating an order by a governor is not breaking the law. I've got news for you on that one. And guys and gals out there, you see people like this wicked witch out there in the West. And you see her doing stuff like this, and I can tell you this will not be the last time that this is tried across this country, because I could see someone like Gavin Newsom doing it. I could see somebody like Hochul in New York doing this. I could see Pritzker in Illinois trying to do this as well. I know his name is Pritzker, but he's a prick. His name's Prickster. Okay, some fat billionaire who's never worked a day in his life. And folks, this is not the last time it's going to happen. And how you respond to this in New Mexico, how the citizens of New Mexico respond to this is going to set the tone for the future. And if you cower in your house and you just say, well, I don't want to get in trouble, then this is going to continue. On the other hand, if you as a free individual exercise not only your First Amendment right, the freedom to assemble and protest, and your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms, if you exercise that, this thing's dead in the water. We can talk about all the legalities of it. We can talk about all the lawsuits that have already been filed by the gun owners of America, as well as other gun rights groups. We can talk about the legislation. We can talk about, obviously it's going to get shot down in court. Obviously it's going to, but that's not the point. The point is she knows that she's going to lose this challenge, but she did it anyway. She's testing the waters and setting the stage for other infringements on the Second Amendment nationwide. I'm going to tell you how you respond to this is going to be absolutely crucial. You can't just cower in your house. You can't just sit in there and watch football. You can't just sit out there and just be pissed and seethe about it indoors. If you're in New Mexico and you're sitting in your house right now, then you're wrong. You need to be out there living your life, open carry, however you want to do it. open or concealed, and you need to go out there and you need to show these people that you are the ones in charge, not some fiat governor, hyphenated governor, and she's not your boss. You are her boss, and you need to show that, and you need to have that strength. Look at what happened in Virginia a few years ago when that idiot Northam tried to pull this crap. You had tens of thousands of people peacefully out there with firearms. Not a single incident happened, and that stuff was dead in the water. It never got any traction whatsoever. How you respond to this in New Mexico is going to make or break what happens next. Yes, she will be shot down legislatively. It will not go anywhere. She will be sued into oblivion. She will pay out millions, if not billions of dollars. It will gain no traction legally whatsoever, not only at the federal level, but also at the state Supreme Court level. Obviously. But that isn't the point. The point is how you as freedmen and women respond out there in New Mexico. And folks, I can tell you this right now. This is one of the worst things that I've ever seen from a governor of a state in the United States of America. She is a criminal. She is an absolute criminal, and any one of her legal counsel that told her that she could get away with this also needs to be tried. That's called conspiracy. Conspiracy to violate civil rights. Folks, it is for moments just like this that the Second Amendment was written. It is exactly for moments like this why we have a right to keep and bear arms. It is a bulwark against tyranny, but it's only if you have the courage to go out there and exercise it. This is Reid Henrichs of Valor reminding you the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.